Welcome. In this video, we're going to do an unboxing and component overview of Conspiracy Abyss Universe, and then follow up with the basics of how to play. Down at the table, you can see this is a nice shiny tin for Conspiracy Abyss Universe, and this is one of possible 5 covers for this game, although the contents will be the same no matter which version you get. So, a very nice cover. You can see on the back here, within the ocean depths of Abyss's kingdom, intrigue and corruption are the rhythm of life. The Oceanic Senate Assembly is at the heart of this permanent power struggle where opponents tirelessly scheme against each other to gain influence. Rally the most advantageous lords before your opponents turn them against you and organize your Senate chamber in the best way possible. So this is a game for 2 to 4 players, ages 8 and up, and it'll last about 30 minutes. Opening up, see we've got a small little rules booklet here. Going over the contents, object of the game. We've got game setup, overview, and going through how to play. Some examples. A fairly simple game coming out. Then inside the box, you can see we've got our Lord cards. And then some location cards and a few tokens. For our components, we have a Pearl track card, which we will use the Pearl token to track who has the most pearls in their collection. And then the player that has the most pearls in their collection will get this token, which will give them 5 victory points at the end of the game. And that can be taken away as soon as someone else equals or beats the other player's amount of pearls. We have 20 coat of arms, the 5 different factions. Got a complete set for each player. Then we have 24 location cards that will give you different abilities when you play them, such as victory points at the end of the game, additional pearls as soon as you get them. So 5 victory points, 1 pearl, 4 victory points, 2 pearls, and so forth. This will get you a victory point for every key of that color, and then 2 victory points for every key of that color. Flat out 7 victory points. 1 for every 2 pearls you have. 3 victory points. And for the next round, it'll force other players to take their lord from the top of the deck. And then 3 victory points. And this forces the players to draw 2 cards from the top of the deck, choosing one, the other to discard. Then this is going to allow you to choose your location card from the deck and then reshuffle. Then these are going to give you 1 plus 1 for each type of a certain faction. So you can see you've got one of those for each of the factions. And then this will give you victory points for the maximum of a certain faction already in play. 2 for every location. Then these are going to have you replacing cards from the location and lord deck. And lastly, this allows you to get locations with keys of any 2 keys of any color instead of having to have them 2 of the same type. And then for our lord cards, we can see we've got all the different factions in here. Each are going to be similar decks. So 0 victory points. But this allows you to swap location of your lords in your tableau that you're building. And we'll get to that here shortly. Then 1 victory point giving you a silver key. So they've got several of those. And 2 victory points giving us a gold key. 3 victory points, 2 pearls, 4 victory points, and 1 pearl. And then 6 victory points, and we're going to take the top card off the lower deck and put it into the discard pile. And each faction is going to have their equivalent of the same things going on. So different artwork for each of the different types. On to the green faction. For the silver keys, gold keys, 2 pearls, a single pearl, and a 6-point card. Then our blue faction, silver keys, gold key, pearls, and the final faction, which matches my box art. So there's all the cards in the box. For game setup, we're going to take all our Lord cards, give them a shuffle, and place them out on the table. We'll also take all the location cards and shuffle those. Placing one out on the table and then putting out one in the discard area. We'll put out the pearl track and the pearl token on there for keeping track throughout the game of who has the most pearls in their collection, along with the Pearl Master token. Then each player will get one complete set of the 5 tokens representing the 5 different factions in play. The goal of the game is to create the most influential Senate chamber from your lords, locations, and pearls. You will place your Senate basically in an upside down pyramid, starting in the upper left corner, then working your way across and then down until someone has 15, which will trigger the end of the game, at which point you will calculate your influence points from your highest cost lord of each faction, your locations, and your greatest coalition, which would be all of one faction that is adjacent to each other. And then if you have the Pearl Master, and whichever player has the most points will win. On your turn, you have 2 options. You can draw 1 to 3 cards from the Lord deck. Choose one to put in your tableau or your Senate, and the others will be placed face up in a discard area. When you place a card in play, you'll do the effect. So I would get 2 pearls there. That would make me the player with the most pearls, and I would get this until someone takes it away from me. Also take our token to put on that to show that this is my highest cost or influential lord of this faction. The next player could either choose to do the same thing or choose from one of the cards in play. So we'll just say the next player wants 3 cards off the top and they decide to take this and put this in their tableau. Then they would place these in the discard pile. Of course, with this card, they would have 2, which would equal or meet us. They would take that from us. For our second turn, we could once again choose to draw 1 to 3 cards, or you can choose the 1 discard pile. So I could choose this and put this in any order. So go ahead and play that down, which will get me up to 4 pearls, getting this token back in my realm. I'd place this on top. I'd put this one in, and this would be my first of the 2 keys of that color needed before I could get a location. And this is only getting 1 point versus 3, so this token would stay there. And we'd keep doing this back and forth until one person got 15 lords in their Senate. After one player puts in their 15th card, completing their Senate, all other players will have 1 more turn to play. Then you will count victory points. So from each faction, you'll count the victory points of the highest cost one. That should be where we have our tokens marked. So I'd have 6, 12, 18, 21 from those. Then you'd gather points from your location. So this would give me the maximum from our claw faction, which would be 6. Get another 3 for that one. And then 1 for every silver key we have. So we've got 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 for our locations. And as far as coalitions, we have 2 blues connected here, 3 greens, but purples, we've managed to get a long coalition there. We get 3 points for each card there, so 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21. And then assuming we had the most pearls, we'd get another 5 points. And that's the basics for Conspiracy Abyss Universe. Hope you enjoyed this boxing and summary of gameplay. So please click on the like button below and be sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching.